Hi there guys, welcome to Dino's Vault once again. The Bajaj Dominar 400 is finally here. I choose to call it the Dark Knight. It's like the Batman among the motorcycles wherein it believes in itself and is ready to rise against the odds. It comes equipped right to the core, ready to outsmart its competition before they can even realize as to what hit them, and most importantly, it is fearless, flamboyant and fantastic in terms of its powerful persona. It is unshakable, unbelievable, and most importantly, unbeatable. Yes, the Bajaj Dominar is here to dominate anything and everything, anytime, any place. And yes, I was at the Hyderabad launch yesterday. By God's divine grace and with all your amazing support, I was invited as a chief guest for the unveil at Select Bajaj dealership here in Hyderabad. And what a day, guys, truly. I very humbly started doing reviews back in 2014. And all the perseverance, all the commitment and all the sacrifices that I had to make all along really felt worthwhile when I was unveiling this bike. I am really grateful to Bajaj for acknowledging my contribution and sincere efforts by offering me this great privilege, because this is not just a bike, it is a defining moment in the history of Indian motorcycling that opens up a whole new dimension and unfolds an all new chapter for us bikers here in India. This is a day and moment I can never get out of my mind for the rest of my life. Now you guys can check out my first look walk around video in 4K Ultra HD by following the link appearing on the screen right now. Today again I had to make a sacrifice to bring you guys this first ride video ASAP. Actually today we had the Creators Day meetup at the Google office, but if I were to go there, I knew I wouldn't be able to upload this video just as soon as you guys are waiting for it. So I chose to stay back and work on this video instead. Anyway, even the launch event highlights video will be uploaded later this week. I believe I am among the very choicest of you to have ridden this revolutionary and outstanding bike first right after the launch event. The regular protocol, however, to book a test ride is to do it via the official Bajaj Dominar website, and even if you want to buy this bike, you need to book it only via the official site, and I'm leaving a link to that site in the description portion below. So in this video I'll be talking about what I liked most about the bike, what makes it such a stunning proposition, and also try and give you some pros and cons of this bike. I got to ride this bike for a fairly long distance. It was nearly a 50 kilometers ride in total, riding through the city and on the highway. I could work it through all gears and push it just a wee bit for you guys to check its stability. It was a brand new bike, so I didn't push it all the way. Also, this is a complete night ride review because I just rode it last night. In the coming week, however, I'll try and also bring you guys the daytime ride review. Now, coming to the features of this bike, Bajaj chose to call this the Leo design philosophy, depicting a lion. So don't just go by what you see in the pics. When you look at it up front in flesh, it sure does look very intimidating, huge, commanding and muscular. The headlamp is the first marvel that would captivate your attention almost instantly. It comes with multiple lighting elements and AHO or auto headlamp on function. Bajaj claim the headlamp is the most powerful in its segment and is supposed to offer visibility from a distance of around 1.5 kilometers, which is outstanding. Then we have the blackened front visor, which is perfectly designed to give it a striking frontal appeal as well. Moving forward, we have the chunky 43mm telescopic front forks, which are again one of the best in segment. Next, we have the stunning looking, precisely machined alloy wheels that look absolutely gorgeous. We then have the huge 320mm front disc, which is undoubtedly one of the largest in segment, and it offers superb stopping power. Add to this the reassurance of dual channel ABS, and I guess the safety department is well taken care of. We then have the specially developed low profile radial tires for the Dominar 400 that offer superior road grip. We get 17-inch wheels and tubeless tires with a 110/70 tire up front and a 150/60 tire at the back. We then have the beam perimeter frame, which along with the stamped metal swing arm offers exceptional torsional rigidity, and this coupled with the lowered center of gravity offers superb handling characteristics. Bajaj have literally thrown in everything for this bike. This bike also gets a slipper clutch which offers a lighter clutch feel as well as faster, smoother and precise downshifts, thereby aiding in smoother deceleration without the rear wheel locking up. Also at the back we get a gas-charged monoshock with the dual spring system, which is also a first-in-segment feature and offers best-in-class ride quality. Coming to the profile, the fuel tank is perfectly sculpted, and believe me, in terms of design, I would give this bike a 10 on 10. It is absolutely mesmerizing and would appeal to all age groups. Seldom do we see such a flawless and ageless design wherein every design element just falls into place flawlessly. The short stubby exhaust looks like a cannon blaster and sounds equally good as well. The tail lamp cluster looks really stunning and resembles that of the Ducati Diavel to a great extent. The split seat layout is again very well laid out, offering decent room for the pillion and ample room for the rider. The seat foam is of good quality too, thereby offering great comfort. We then have the split reverse LCD display that looks absolutely gorgeous. Readouts include the speedometer, tachometer, odometer, trip meters, fuel gauge and a clock. The secondary display on the fuel tank contains the Bajaj logo, ABS light, the side stand indicator, etc. Now talking about the relevant specs, ground clearance is 157 mm, which I believe is quite adequate to comfortably amble around on our Indian road conditions. The seat height for this bike is not mentioned on the official website, but I'm around 5 feet 6 inches tall and I didn't have any issues riding this bike. The bike also comes with a claim of being operational even at 18,380 feet above sea level, and the official top speed claim per Bajaj for this bike is 148 kilometers per hour. The fuel tank capacity is 13 liters, which I believe could have been better because this bike basically classifies as a hardcore tourer. Talking about the brakes, we get the massive 320mm disc up front and a 230mm disc at the back. As per Bajaj, the bike comes to a standstill from 100 to 0 km per hour within 46.19 meters. Now talking about the engine specs, powering the Dominar 400 is a 4-stroke liquid-cooled fuel-injected 4-valve 373.3cc DTSI triple spark engine that puts out a max power of 35 PS at 8000 rpm and 35 Newton meters of torque at 6500 rpm. Now this comes mated to a 6-speed gearbox. Now talking about my test ride experience, first of all the bike gives you a commanding feel. You do feel you're riding a big bike or a higher capacity bike. The bike offers superb road presence as well. Next, the seating posture too is nice and upright. The seat foam cushioning is just about perfect. It's not too hard nor too soft. The rider foot pegs are well set and the handlebar is perfectly positioned to give you a perfect riding stance for touring. We can tour on this bike for hours together without feeling fatigued. Thanks to the slipper clutch, the clutch feel is light and easy and the gear shifts are smooth too. The throttle response is phenomenal and the 35 Newton meters of flat torque curve ensures adequate thrust throughout the rev band. The power delivery is nice and linear and smooth. There are no vibrations whatsoever up to speeds of around 110 kilometers per hour. The bike reminded me of the Mojo to a great extent in terms of the riding dynamics and the riding feel. However, refinement wise, the bike is butter smooth compared to the Duke 390 and even smoother than the Mojo. Now the Duke 390 is a brutal monster machine where the power delivery is very ferocious, and that I believe comes courtesy of its higher power to weight ratio. The Dominar on the other hand weighs around 182 kgs. As a result, the power here is delivered in a more composed and controlled manner. Also, the longer wheelbase of 1453 mm is around 3 mm longer than that of the Mahindra Mojo. So this translates into superb high-speed stability. The downside to the longer wheelbase though is longer turning radius, so you need to be a little watchful while taking those sharp U-turns. The beam perimeter frame coupled with the metal swing arm offers superb handling. The bike offers great balance and control. The ride quality is best in class with a superb suspension setup. It isn't too soft nor is it too rigid. It soaks up all the bumps at lower speeds with ease, and at higher speeds it offers great stability. The brakes do offer good bite and feel, especially the front brake. The rear brake though I believe just lacks a little bit in terms of feel and feedback. The low profile radial tires with a 150 section rear tire offer superb road grip. Mind you, this bike can be enjoyed thoroughly while carving through the Ghat roads, but don't expect this to behave like a super sport bike at corners because this is a different breed altogether. Also, we do get dual channel ABS that intervenes very smoothly and is very effective, but please don't think that you can go at breakneck speeds and expect the ABS to save you under panic braking scenarios. ABS is indeed a great safety feature, but that too has its own limitations. So always keep the bike under your control rather than yielding control to the bike. Never take your bike to speeds that you cannot handle. It's just a humble request as your well-wisher. Now coming to the things that I hope were better on this bike. First of all, I really hope the tank capacity was at least 18 liters. Given that this bike is tailor-made for touring, I believe larger tank capacity would have resulted in better tank range. Also, I believe the Speedo could have featured a gear position indicator. And finally, I believe the rear brake can add in a little more bit of feel to give you that extra bit of confidence. Apart from that, this is the dream bike everyone has been waiting for or hoping for in terms of everything. It is practical, it is powerful, it is versatile. It comes packed with features beyond its brim, and most importantly, it is very, very affordable. If you are a bike enthusiast who cannot afford two separate motorcycles but are looking for one bike that you can use on a daily basis and at the same time scorch the highways on your weekend rides, this is the bike for you. What is still unbelievable though is its pricing that is starting from as low as 1.36 lakhs ex-showroom Delhi for the non-ABS variant and just 1.5 lakhs ex-showroom Delhi for the dual-channel ABS variant. Well, in my opinion, they can conduct a flash sale at this pricing, and don't be surprised if their online server hangs up soon. Well, that's about it for now. I just hope you found this video useful. Until next time, this is Dino saying ciao. Take care, God bless, and ride safe.